Picture an apple sitting on a table. Make it red and add a stem. If you're like most people, you can close your eyes and see that apple blooming into color in your head right now. Society operates on the assumption that everyone possesses this internal mental projector. From early education to modern media, our world is built for a brain that visualizes by default. Take the act of reading. You scan a series of ink squiggles on a page, and your brain automatically decodes those squiggles into a running mental movie. But for tens of millions of people, closing their eyes to picture that red apple yields nothing. They see only absolute pitch-black darkness. This is aphantasia. It is a neurological condition defined by the total absence of a mind's eye, the inability to generate voluntary mental imagery. Lacking a mind's eye has no bearing on intelligence or emotion. People with aphantasia navigate complex careers and routinely create highly original works of art. The question is how these individuals navigate a highly visual culture that wrongly assumes every single brain is actively rendering pictures in the dark. Historically, medicine and psychology viewed a blank mental canvas as a broken one. A mind that couldn't produce images was assumed to be missing a crucial cognitive gear. Recent neurological studies point in a different direction. Researchers now classify a blind mind's eye as an intriguing variation of human neurobiology, rather than a disorder. Think of it like two computers running distinct operating systems. They ingest the exact same environmental data, but they use different underlying code to handle it. Here is the standard path. Raw sensory data comes in, travels straight into a visual rendering engine, and outputs a crisp mental picture. In an aphantasic brain, data bypasses the rendering engine. The signal reroutes directly into a factual database and spatial mapping nodes. Both brains successfully identify the apple on the table. The final output is identical. The background routing is simply different. Human cognition relies on these diverse, invisible methods to reach the same goals. What looks like a missing feature is often just an unmapped way to process the world. This alternative routing system shapes daily life in specific ways when your internal world operates entirely on concepts. When reading fiction, they focus on plot dynamics, logical structure, and character motives, rather than visual world building. Memory operates on a similar track. A typical person recalls a childhood birthday party by bringing up a mental snapshot of the cake. An aphantastic mind lacks that home video replay. They access a highly detailed list of factual data about the event while retaining the same emotional resonance. If they need to navigate a dark room or jog directions to a coffee shop, they pull from a highly tuned sense of spatial awareness rather than visual recall. Navigating physical space doesn't require a mind's eye. A conceptual compass gets you to the same destination as a visual map. Zooming out, aphantasia highlights how uniquely we each perceive the world inside our own heads. Imagination and creativity are not bound to the physical act of seeing imagery. You can build vast, intricate worlds out of pure data. Right now, you are watching vibrant, surreal art on your screen. Yet for someone with a blind mind's eye, processing this video happens within an invisible conceptual vacuum. The person sitting next to you on a bus or across from you in an office likely experiences an internal reality that looks nothing like your own. Our minds are capable of constructing rich, cohesive realities without using a single drop of visual paint. Whether your brain processes the environment through a mental masterpiece or sorts it into quiet, conceptual data, the unique stories we build from society's squiggles are equally valid and wonderfully our own.